Hey everybody, we are today going to tear down the front end of this machine, get into this Can-Am X3 XDS, put in the S3 Powersports front gusset kit and shock tower brace. If anybody has them, let me know what you think of them, how they've been, any information, comment below, and please like and subscribe. Thank you. Hey, all Martuzzi here. Hey, just wanted to say a little bit about the S3 kits that went in here. So basically when I got this and I was going to move the build from the XRS over to the XDS, one of the main things I did was bring the front bumper over, which while you're doing that and the wiring for that and the winch and everything, it's pretty much, it goes into the bulkhead up and underneath. It's kind of a funny system, but it requires quite a bit of work. So once you get it up and get the jacks off and all that kind of stuff, it's one of those things where a lot of this comes off, and especially to get the wiring and the winching done, get it all done in one shot. So it just made sense at that time. Any other work I wanted to do up here now is the best time to do it. So I already knew I wanted the gusseting kit for up front and for the shock tower bracing. So I looked into a few different models of them and online, and got lots of good feedback on some of the good brands. Definitely CT Raceworks was probably the top most talked about. S3 was definitely one of them too. So what I did was I kind of went with the S3 because of being a little bit familiar with it. I remember watching on Nick's Beast Mode there on Side by Side blog. I remember them actually installing this whole one in a video, and it just made sense to me. The parts made sense, the quality looked good, and you look what they put that X3 through since in the last couple of years. I mean, that's probably not had an easy mile put on it. So that spoke volume for me too. Just the design of it and everything I thought was great. I'm not going to say if it's better or worse than anybody else's. I was just happy with that. And then I saw somebody else locally that had one put on there too, and it looked super strong after I seen it through a pretty big mashup and it holding out. So I went with the S3. So what I'm going to do is just quickly take you online, show you what I got, and then we'll lift this up a bit and get under it, and I'll show you what all parts went down in there and up underneath and up to the front and to the back, right? So you can't quite see them from here. All you can really see is a shock tower brace, but down the road, these cars are great. So I think, like, out of the box, they're amazing. I love everything about them and the driveline and everything. The only thing that was weak was some single shearing places that were just not mounted strong. So that'll fix the front. The back end has a few things to do. There's like an extra tranny mount to stiffen up back there, and then down here there's some extra gusseting around there as well. And if you really want to race it and get really rolling, there are some welding gusseting pieces here and there you can do too. So if I'm got the car stripped down to get to that point on my own, I would just do that on my own, being a fabber. As far as these pieces that go into here and up here, they're all CNC made. Definitely not worth my time trying to play with that and make a one-off kind of thing for that. So I bought that kit. It's been installed at the same time. It's going to super fix up the front and make it stiff, which after I do the back as well, honestly, I think it makes it the best side-by-side UTV ripper that there is right now. So previous to putting all this stuff in, it leaves it like an awesome out of the box machine, but it leaves it for down the road some wear and tear to start really happening, and just the chassis is just not quite super stiffened yet. So get it done now while it's new. Get the back done next. We're going to throw that on pretty quick. So I'm going to just show you online where I pick these up, and you got your choices of colors. They nailed the Manta green to match just perfect. So I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to lift her up and I'll show you the rest underneath. All right, so I'm just going to take you on the website here real quick, s3powersports.com, where I hit Can-Am choice. I went to X364 version because we have the XDS here. And you scroll down, you'll see lots of custom parts, strength and everything here. All kinds of stuff. Cages, bushings. There's a the weld-in suspension or gusset kit there if you're really getting serious. And then they got all your different bumpers, front and backs, cages, tree knockers. There's the transmission brace I was talking about. And then yeah, so here we get to on the left the gusset kit, which I'll be showing. Also the shock tower brace. So here we go. This is where you can just order them online and bring them in. It's not a big deal. They were really good with it. A couple weeks and they're here up in Canada. So shows the prices online too, which is nice. They're basically $300 each for each set there, so $600 US. Which by the time I got up here was like 1,000 Canadian. So there you go, $295 each. So yeah, it wasn't for what it's gonna do and what it's gonna deliver. And I know what it has by watching a different vehicle crash with it on as opposed to not. It's well worth it. So here's the shock tire brace there, just showing a little more construction. So you pick a color. We picked the Manta green to match the green. It came out mint and perfect. So definitely highly recommend this product. That's why I'm doing this video. I think it just is going to make the machine better, and in a lot of ways I'm not going to have an instant awesomeness like a killer stereo effect on you, but trust me, it's going to beef up the machine, make it better. Right, so just before I put it up there so we can look underneath a bit more, these guys, this is the shock tower brace that comes up to here. I don't know if you remember what it was like before, but more or less the shocks are just bolted in the one area here, just not connecting everything up. So this kind of area hung down and kind of came across and up a bit, and there's just nothing bridging it. And on top of the bridging, like I said, the single shearing up here, that was super evident right away. So you got all this pounding and pressure on the shocks, and then eventually something's going to bust off or blow or cause one heck of a killer accident when that happens. So or a lot of destruction to the machine minimum. So then we'll get this up on the hoist and I'll show you everything underneath. But basically, yeah, you can see where the shock tower there just actually goes down and slides down. I'll show you where it connects, and it basically just brings the whole shape of this bulkhead plus the bumpers up and in there, and it just sandwiches everything and brings everything together and fills in and gaps everything, and it just makes this whole front end a lot stronger. So let's get her up, take a look underneath. Okay, so let's get under here now. You see the shock tower that was up top, right? It comes down and latches onto here. So that just kind of connects everything and gives it a much better design than kind of the shocks free floating up there by themselves. Now it's connected it all, brought it all together. Then what we have up here is this big bulkhead here. So the bumper, like I said, comes up, down, and up. And there wasn't a whole lot of strength for all these A-arms here sitting here, and the way this was just connected was pretty weak. So there's an actual, like a whole big steel plate put in behind here, braces it up front to back. I don't know if you can see in there. It's a little bit tough to see in there what I'm talking about, but I'll try to get in there. So it just pokes out through and bolts through everything. So it just makes all these points here for every arm now is fully double sheared, right? So you can see down there, top and bottom, and then there's another piece up here that super strengthens up top, right? So the upper A-arm, and then you go down to the bottom A-arm. This will be the fun one to get to here. This is the one kind of why I had to go down low. If you can see, there's a double set down there as well for that. Because again, single shear places is just too many up here. There's too many for one, and you know, I wouldn't worry about it so much if this was maybe just a Maverick Sport or something, even though I think everything should be double sheared anyways for what it would take to do that. And now that the design is all figured out and that it should be done on everything, I honestly wish, I mean, it's great for aftermarket, but it'd be cool if, obviously for future people, Can-Am just adjusted and did it. Made it like that to begin with. It would say a lot about them realizing all that. It's a pretty serious thing, and that would make their side-by-sides compete a lot more. So, not that they're not doing so bad anyways, but if you get what I'm saying, it would be nice, because, you know, I'm out a pretty good chunk of money putting this in myself. I think should have came in. I mean, we're talking 195 horsepower side-by-sides. We're not talking 100 horsepower machines. We're putting these things through paces, everything we're doing at higher speeds, you know, more torque, leaning in it, everything harder, the corners, the rails, everything's more pressure now. So yeah, that's basically what it is. It's basically a whole bunch more guts to strengthen the undercarriage of this machine here, right? So there you go. Anyways, everybody says, what's the first thing you're going to do to these machines? And everybody says, get a winch, get a this, get a that. Yeah, if you're going to get riding right away, for sure. If you got a chance to do this on the early going, though, like I say, if you're going to order a bumper and it doesn't already have it, or get a custom bumper in and get your winch in, LEDs or wiring, anything, now's the time to put that kit in. So they basically got to undo it all to get all that done anyways. I mean, don't have to necessarily for everything, but it's just easier. I'll put up the picture too, where it just shows everything apart and how they got it, everything done in one shot. So saves a bunch of time on labor. All right, hope everybody enjoyed this and would consider using these parts from S3 here. Order them online, bring them in, match your color you want, and strengthen your beast.